Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the duo group Ironman. Well, that's my first time losing a pillar. I think for wave 60 through 63, if I even make it past wave 60, I'm gonna take a sip of brew to get my health up and my defense up for the start of each of those waves. Okay, well, here is my supplies going into triple jads. For triples, I was able to practice on the beta worlds, which just came out a couple days before this, so I wasn't as shaky as I would otherwise be. Normally, you have to have completed the Inferno to attempt the triple jads challenge, but in the beta worlds, you're able to do it once you do the single and double jad challenges. I practiced by going in, killing the first jad, then leaving, and I probably did that at least 10 or 15 times. And those jads had 5 healers each, while the Inferno triple jads only have 3 healers. And tagging the healers off the first jad, I think, is really the most difficult part of triple jads, and once you can break past that barrier, the rest is a breeze. I'd say the most important part of triples though is constantly looking at what the next jad is going to do while hovering your mouse over the other prayer. As soon as you know what the jad's animation is, start looking at the next one and keep doing that. Tag the healers only when you're comfortable with the next prayer switch and don't rush. I'm going to fast forward here because nothing really interesting happens until the healers spawn for the third jad. If you can tag the healers on triple jads, then it's exponentially easier to do it for double jads. There's a bunch of different ways you can go about this, but I just aggroed the 3 healers and ran through jad. I got 2 tiles in front of jad, waited for the animation for what the attack was, prayed accordingly, ran through, and then after the attack happened, I switched to pray melee just in case I was going to be in melee range for his attack. From here, I put on the mage gear, took off the negative mage gear, and blood barraged the healers. I ended up killing all the healers from blood barrage, and I realized I'm not max health yet, so I did what any sane person would do, and I blood barraged jad. I was in panic mode, mentally frozen, thinking, do I drink brews or just keep one tick tick flicking Jad while watching my prayer slowly drain because I wasn't like doing one tick exactly the whole time. In the end, I decided it's not worth missing a prayer flick and throwing away what little chance I might have just because I wanted to heal a little bit more. Although in the end, I did get up to 95 hit points, so that was pretty good. Fun fact, when the Inferno is paused for logout, your health doesn't restore and your run doesn't restore, so you can't cheese it that way. For triples, I ended up having to use no sips of brew, but 4 doses of restore. And yes, I was clenched very tight for that one moment I was running through the 3rd Jad. But anyways, that means I'm going into Zuck with 5 brews and 7 doses of restore. Starting off with the shield going left, I felt a bit of relief right away because that means I'm going to have the full cycle to kill the ranger. However, I still only have 7 doses of restore. I may be new here, but I know that's not a lot for a full Zuck fight. And besides for having to try to conserve prayer, that also means I'm going to have to be very particular when I brew, because if I have to drink a restore while my prayer is near full, then I'd be wasting a dose, which could cost the fight. The ranger has a max hit of 46, which is why these sets are extremely dangerous. You can potentially be killed in 3 hits if you're unlucky, and all you can do about that is off-tick the ranger and major. But realistically, this is not the time for me to be trying new stuff like that. The ranger went down pretty smoothly, and just for reference, I have amethyst darts in the blowpipe. Now I have to rush Zuck's health down to 600 to pause the set timer. My previous PB was wave 58 before this, so this was kind of my first time at Zuck. I did kill Zuck once in Shattered Relics League and once in Trailblazer League, so it's not technically my first time here, but that was a year ago and 2 years ago, and there were insane relics that made you not have to learn the wave mechanics. You could tank multiple Zuck hits just fine. Just to really show you how crazy it was, here's my leftover supplies after the Zuck fights from those 2 leagues. There's no automatic feature that does the set timer for you, it's all manual. I end up starting my set timer about 30 seconds too late, but you can see it in the bottom left, although at the time I thought I was over a minute late. For the last week since I first tried Inferno, I've been religiously watching YouTube videos and guides, and there's really 3 people's videos that help the most from what I watched at least, which were Exact, Dear Lola, and No Monkey. So I want to give them a shout outs because they gave me the knowledge and confidence to make it this far, and I'll link their channels in the description if you want to check them out. This whole time I was at Zuck, I had No Monkey in my head because in his Bofa run through at Zuck, he really hammered it in that now is the time to kill Zuck. Don't stand around and smell the roses, kill the boss. Don't miss ticks. And that's all I was thinking about, and really it's what I needed considering the amount of restore doses I had. At 480 hit points, Jad spawns, and we'll fast forward to Jad's healers. For Jad's healers, I just tagged them with the bow. It's probably better to throw a barrage at them, but a perk of using Bofa and not T-bow is that it's a tick faster, so you don't lose as much time if you choose to not barrage. Once Jad's dead, the focus switches back to Zuck. Zuck's healers spawn at 240 hit points, and I decided I'm going to get him as close as possible to 240 and then wait for the next set, because if a set spawns while I'm fighting the healers, I'm going to die. I knew my set timer wasn't accurate, so I just turned it off here, but I knew the next set was pretty close to spawning. It was pretty nerve-wracking not knowing which side I was going to get, but again, luckily they spawned when the shield was on the mage side, which was perfect because I'd have a full cycle to take out the ranger. With the ranger out of the way, I had a decision to make. Do I kill the major or just full send the healers? Based on my restores left, I knew I couldn't rely on redemption, and with the set timer still going, it would waste too much time to kill the major. I waited until I got to the edge to spawn the healers, I brewed up, potted up, switched to the blowpipe, and started aggroing them. There's a thing with the Zuck healers where when you tag one, you have to wait a bit before you can attack it again, so it's best to do like a zigzag with them. Fuck. We're not going to talk about that. When the healers come out, Zuck becomes enraged and attacks twice as fast. which means the marked safe spot tiles don't work anymore and you need to stay behind the shield. My prayer was getting down to the point where it would be reasonable to sip a restore, and after messing up and taking a Zuck hit, I'd have to brew up sooner than later. And this meant that now I was down to just one sip of restore left. As a parasocial viewer of his videos, I felt like I had no monkey looking over my shoulder yelling at me to hit Zuck, hit the boss, reminding me this is a DPS race, there are no roses to be smelled here today. If I can't attack the healers from wherever I'm at, then I need to be attacking the boss. I do not have the supplies to be standing around doing nothing, especially considering the set timer is still ticking down, which by the way, at this point, I have no idea how much time is left. All I know is that I need to keep hitting the boss. Please. Are you serious? I can't believe it. That was my first Zuck. Is Spook Dog on right now? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm so happy. I was not expecting to get that going into Zuck with 7 doses of brew. Oh, especially at the end there when the third set spawned. I'm not even going to make that joke about the goal that we set out for with the music because I'm too shook, dude. I'm too shook. I'm in shock. The reason why I wanted to keep on doing Inferno or keep coming back to it is because every single night since the first day I tried, I've been having dreams about Inferno. Most of the dreams are about me getting the cape, so I don't know, it just feels like I'm dreaming right now, but I know I'm not. You know what the funniest thing is though? Is that it's April Fool's Day. Wait a second, before I take a screenshot. That's better. Hey.
Hi.
How do I look?
Hot.
Good one. Did you think I was gonna get it today?
No.
Me either. I woke up kind of like half thinking like, oh, it'd be kind of funny if I got it today because April Fools.
I didn't even consider the possibility of you getting it today because I thought you were like pretty far from getting it.
I mean, I went from a PB of 58 to getting it.
You're sweaty.
Really? Wait, did I shower already? Yeah, I did shower today.
Yeah. You're sweaty from Inferno.
Okay, let's take a look at, well, okay, wait, I don't know. I have this plugin, I don't know exactly like how to read this. I mean, I do, but I don't really care about this. Well, maybe if you care, you can take a look at these later waves. But this is the thing. This is my attempts. There was a few more attempts where I just went in to learn how to flick the blobs, just going back and forth, and then I just left. So I guess technically it's more, oh, I guess it was the 8th attempt actually, because 7 was the one where I died. So it was my 8th real attempt. I've been standing around for a long time, so I need to, I'm gonna have a lot to edit, and I'm just gonna go AFK something. Although I'm not gonna wear the Infernal Cape because it's gonna like spoil it for people. So we'll just move the Infernal Cape into PVM tab. I guess I could replace the Fire Capes and move these to Cool Collections tab. Wait, let's go back here. That's insane. That's insane. I didn't think that. Oh my god. I'm not sure if I showed this tab already, so just to be safe, here's my character summary tab, just to show my time played and whatnot on here when I got the cape. Good morning. Yesterday still does not feel real. I could barely even sleep last night either, which is really weird because normally I feel like it's the night before something exciting you can't sleep, not the night after the exciting thing happens, so kind of weird. But anyways, I want to show what my loadout was for the Inferno because I don't think I showed it before, at least for this attempt. This is what I went with. I think I said before, Amethyst Darts in the Blowpipe, And this is my gear setup. And here's the notes that I wrote down too. I had a full rune pouch before going in for that run, so let's see how many runes I used up. It's a lot less than I thought it was going to be. 16k is the max, so you can do the math for yourself. I just checked my blowpipe to see how many amethyst darts I have left, and I forgot exactly when I switched over from Addy to amethyst. It's probably around maybe halfway through the number of attempts I did. But the number of amethyst darts that I started with, I just went back in my clips to check. I didn't actually put this clip in a video, but it was 5,760. So I didn't end up using very many darts for this. In retrospect, I suppose I could have used dragon darts, but still worked out well in the end. Now it's time to smell the roses. It's a beautiful day. This bird just ate a butterfly. We're like, oh, look, the butterfly. It's eating it now. Oh, I didn't know birds eat butterflies. That's so sad.
Damn dangerous.
For real. Look how close this one is. I should warn him about the birds. We've seen multiple butterflies get eaten today. Wait, how close can I get? Oh, I'm so close. That's insane. Do you think Joe was a group Ironman, or he just was a normal account? Hey, I'm doing the fishing thing. Oh god, I did a lot of fishing today. Now I suppose we should go over the stat comparison between Fire Cape and Infernal Cape. The main thing is +4 versus +8 strength bonus, which a lot of the time will lead to an extra max hit. And then Infernal also has a tiny bit more accuracy and defense. And just a reminder, neither of us have gotten B rings yet. Berserker rings to be specific, we do have Brimstone rings, but I just think it's really funny getting Infernal Cape before even having a B ring. It almost feels like a novelty at this point, like how long can we go? How many gear upgrades can we get before getting a single B ring? There's one last thing left to do, which you can probably already tell what that's going to be based on where I'm at. Which is going to be buying a max cape. I don't really like to buy these because of how expensive they are. They're 2277k, but I think this is really going to be worth it. If there's one more max cape variation I should buy, I think this is definitely the one that it should be. After spending countless hours daydreaming about one day owning this cape, we can finally combine them together and create the Fire Max Cape. And now, for the first time ever, I feel like I can truly play the game.